Yeah. Okay, thanks. Right, there you go. You can see some metal fragments from the first 1,000 miles on the engine oil. That bolt there must be magnetic on the end because it's catching all the little metal fragments from the inside of the engine. What this is a hollow bolt with a little cylindrical magnet inserted into the top of it, so it's quite clever. But if you look how much metal, zoom in so you can see it, look how much metal paste, oil and metal filaments came out of that. So we are going to take off this crushed washer, oops, there you go, do it one-handed, and just replace with the proper spec copper washer for 17mm or an M12 bolt with a 17mm head. One thing I have noticed is actually, see that white there? That wasn't put there by me. That is some kind of sealant around the sump plug. So I'll give that a clean up, put the proper copper washer in and see if I can get it to seal. Right, diving under the seat of the Lexmoto RX1, you've probably got the airbox there with a lid, which we'll remove in a minute. That is the Bosch ECU. We've got looks like a relay for the indicators there. Now this is a diagnostic port, and the grey one, that's your accessory port. So you can connect heated grips or fog lights or whatever to that port if you want to. A few other bits. Actually, there is a little bit of storage space here. I can see the positive terminal for the battery just tucked under there. So I would say that this panel here, held on by A, B, probably some C down there, and maybe a couple of push rivets. That probably conceals the battery, which is just in there. But first thing we'll do is get this airbox cover off. Is that glue? It's weird, isn't it? Get this airbox cover off and just see if we can access the air filter. You can see the air filter, which, to be honest, looks brand new. I don't think I will replace that. Oh, there you go. Need a flathead screwdriver probably to prise that out. No, there you go. Doesn't look dirty at all though. That is not worth changing. Interestingly, whilst we're doing this, if you look at that, it says Euro 5 Plus. So it must be running a specific ECU with the fuel map for Euro 5.5. Now, I mentioned before that these chains stretch quite a bit because they're quite cheap chains, and it's probably more slack than I'd want in that. It's only meant to move up and down an inch. That's too much movement, I think. So I'm just going to adjust these. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you do exactly the same number of turns to the other, so then you keep the wheel straight. Just in there, you can see the plug for the Lambda, and then you probably can't quite make that out, but there's a little clip there which just holds the cable. So I'll just free the cables and then unplug it. It should free the Lambda. 16mm spanner for that. Right, just a little bit of copper grease just on the threads. That's all we want. That's the second Lambda sensor, which has just had copper grease go on it. You can see at the front of the bike, there's a rudimentary cat. So you've got the first Lambda, which is just before that elbow, down into the cat. And the exhaust pops under here. And then you've got the second Lambda, which is reading the exhaust emissions post catalytic converter. And that sensor there is just on this little plug. I've just greased it, so it should be easier to get out in the future. And then I'll just route it back up and it'll go in back up there. Is that in focus? Right, if you're able just to give that a little bit of a tug, you can remove the HT lead. But the spark plug is down there in that hole, so I need to get a long socket for a spark plug and pop it in there, probably 15mm, and just see if I can pull the spark plug out. Right, so here's the replacement NKG spark plug. Maybe it's 15 is a little bit too small for that. Might need a 16mm socket. So I've hit a little bit of a snag in that the spark plug socket I've got actually isn't deep enough. And so I don't want to risk losing that inside the hole and then not being able to put the HT lead back in, as then the bike wouldn't be able to run. So we're going to abandon the spark plug change for today because I just need to order a longer socket, probably about 20 or 30mm longer than that one. But for now, let's just pop the HT lead back in and hopefully the bike runs with all my updates to the sensors and things. Go on. It came out, didn't it? So it should go back in. I've noticed some inconsistencies with the front brake. Sometimes when you're riding the bike, it feels like the system is locked or doesn't seem to be easy to apply pressure to generate enough braking force. Other times it feels perfectly normal. And then I looked at the brake reservoir and it's seemingly filled right to the top, not within the min and max. So we're going to drain some of the fluid out and just see if that brings some more consistency to the performance of the front brake. One thing that had bothered me was the rusty nuts on the suspension linkage. So as they are pence from CMPO, I decided just to buy a new nut and just swap that out because I thought it was a bit of an eyesore. Whilst we're here, I think we should just grease the lower shock bolt, which looks to have not that much grease from factory. Rather liberal application. Right, well let's just check the tyre pressures. New to me bike. Oh great, 33, and we got 34 as a target, so that's not too bad at all. Got a little Punisher dust cap, which is quite fun. The front tyre is at 30 psi. If you're interested in this little axle stand, this is from Keywave, and it just lets me tip the weight of the bike onto the front wheel, even though it's obviously on a centre stand, but just to allow me to easily adjust the chain slack. So that's what that is. Link in the description if you do want to buy one yourself. Final thing for today is that the number plate has been put on with a wing nut. It's only a small thing, but it's really irritated me since I've had the bike, because it just looks horrible. The number plate is now also centered as well, which I think looks a lot better. Right, thanks for watching everybody. Let's just start the bike up. Check for any oil leaks or anything like that. I have to say, it sounds quieter already.